Yo, what's good, everybody? This video is gonna be one of the topics that people ask me about quite often. Um, I think there's a natural curiosity about this, both from Americans to Brazilians and Brazilians to Americans. I think the most people don't know the real numbers of what's going on, and that's what this video is going to be about. Okay, so we're going to talk about um, racism, all right? And we're also going to talk about the population and the relation between the population, what the population thinks the population is, and what the facts are. Okay? So, first things first, if I were to ask you, what is the percentage of black people in the United States of America? Okay? Um, I've made this question to many people from all different types of parts of the world. You know, I've asked this to European people, German. I've asked this to French people, to Scottish people. I've asked this to many Brazilians and many Latinos, and Italians and Asians and stuff. And it's curious that nobody ever got even close to what the real number is. Everybody overshot. Everyone I talked to overshot. So I'm here to give you the facts. All right. So I'm not even gonna give you the facts. I'm pulling this up on Google. If you don't believe me, throw it on Google. Google wasn't made by black people, so they're can't blame me for that. Can't blame the black people for that. So this is directly from Google. These are facts. All right, these are facts, and I think you should know them because most people don't. And yeah, it's important for you guys to know. So let's get it cracking. So I'm gonna hit this into Google right now. Okay, what is the percentage of black people in the USA? All right, that's exactly what I wrote. What is the percentage of black people in the USA? Google. Results. As of 2003 and 2004, approximately 13.7 to 14.4 of the United States population identifies as black or African American, totaling over 48 million people. This figure includes those who identify as black alone, with a slightly higher percentage, around 14.2 in 2020, including those who identify as black in combination with another race. So, what is the percentage of blacks in America? 13.7 to 14.4. Okay? Now, I'm comparing my life in New York and my life here in Brazil. So, same thing, same exact question. The only thing I'm going to change is instead of in the US, I'm going to put in Brazil. What is the percentage of black people in Brazil? On Google. According to the 2022 census by IBGE is the institute that controls census here in Brazil. Um, According to the 2002 census by IBGE, 10.2% of Brazilian population identifies as pretos, amounting to 20.6 million people. However, when including people who identify as mixed race or brown, or pardos in Portuguese, okay, who make up 45.3% of the population. I shall repeat that number. 45.3% of the population, a total over 55% of Brazilians identify as Afro descendants. Again, I'm going to repeat this as a total number, a total fact. 55% of Brazilians identify as Afro-Brazilian. That's right. So, people that think that the United States has a gigantic population of black people, you are sorely mistaken. I traveled throughout the U.S. There are black people almost everywhere, but the concentration is very small. I've been to places where you're in an opera house or a theater, for example, right? And the theater sits 500, 600 people, okay? And not one black person, not one Latino person, all white people. You know what I mean? So I've been to places like that. I've also been to places where there'll be one or two black people or one or two white people, you know? Like, people forget that the United States is not New York City. You go to New York City, let's hit up New York. Let's talk about facts, right? I like to talk about facts. What are the percentage of black people in New York City? As of 2025 and 2026 data, approximately 22.7% of New York City's population identifies as black or African alone, totaling near 2 million residents. While the city has the largest black population of any U.S. city, again, I'm going to repeat that. While the city has the largest black population of any U.S. city, it has seen a decline from 2 million, from over 2 million in, while the city has the largest black population of any United States city, it has seen a decline from over 2 million in the 2000s. So the black population has been declining, but I think that is the effect because the population has been declining. I am still connected with my friends. I travel to New York all the time, and I know a lot of people that are moving out of New York City. So remember, New York, you go there, you hang out in Brooklyn, and you'll be like, oh my God, there's black people everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You go to Harlem and all of that, like black people everywhere. You know what I mean? But they're actually quite small part of the population if you take the account the whole population of America, you know. So, and then you got to take into account the whole population of Brazil. 55% consider themselves Afro descendant. 55%. Okay? Now, growing up in New York, I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. Growing up in New York City, I saw black people everywhere. You know what I mean? In all types of positions. Lawyers, doctors, judges, dentists, fucking, all types of stuff. You know what I mean? Everywhere. In offices, CEOs, CFOs, entrepreneurs of like gigantic companies. You know what I mean? But that's New York. You know what I mean? I'm not going to shout out any specific state here, but I've been to states in America, no black people at all. Like I did cross country, so I stayed in a couple of spots for 1 or 2 days. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I just drove by, didn't see any black people. Nah, I was in the city for like 2, 3 days. I went to the museums, I went to bars and nightclubs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? There were some places that I felt uncomfortable because of my color, the color of my skin. But I'm American, yo. So I got these friends called Smith and Wesson and Colt, and they go with me wherever I go. So it's my version of the Bible. I shall fear no evil. You know what I mean? So that's why me and my friends, we went everywhere. But we knew the risk we were taking. And there were cities that I did not stop in. Like there were some gas stations that I was like, I had one of my friends that did this adventure, right, with me. Everybody else was like black, Spanish, you know what I mean, brown or black skin. The only one that was there is a really great friend of mine. His name is Robert. He's Irish, and he's like Irish. Like you look at him and you're like, you're Irish. You know what I'm saying? So there were places that like we stopped at gas station. I remember specifically. I'm just gonna say it was in the mid of America. And I remember stopping in this gas station. And when I stepped out, if y'all don't know the movie or the book, it's actually a book first, then it became a movie. If you're American, you know because you were forced to read this in high school or in junior high. I think I had to read in 8th grade or something like that. Um, if you want to know what I was looking at when I stepped out of the car to go to the gas station to grab the pump and fill up the gas, um, just Google right now Deliverance, the movie. If you can't find that, put Deliverance, the movie, Burt Reynolds, and look at the images. You see those white people in that movie? Not Burt Reynolds and his friends. I'm talking about the when they stop to get gas, and there's the little kid with the banjo. Yeah, if you watch that movie and if you know that book, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna use stereotypical words because I don't think that's cool. But if you saw the movie, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? You know what happens when you get into these little tiny cities in the middle of the mountains, You know what I mean? Where it's just kilometers and kilometers and well, sorry, miles and miles, because we're talking about America. So it's miles and miles and miles of forest and places to hide bodies. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, that's the little story I wanted to tell you guys. Okay, I just wanted you guys to have the facts. Um, Next question that people always used to always ask me is uh, where do I think is more racist? Do I think America is more racist than Brazil? Do I think Brazil is more racist than America? Um, and again, guys, this is my opinion. Like, take it as a grain of sand. You know what I'm saying? But from the experience, I lived. I was born and raised in New York. I left New York. I was 26 years old. This year is gonna be 19 years that I've been living in Brazil. Okay, I'm not saying they don't exist because they do. I know people that know, for example, black dentists, black lawyers, black doctors here in my city. I'm just saying, I've never seen one. Like, usually wherever I go, um, I've never seen a black lawyer or a black judge. Honestly, I haven't even seen a black dentist. You know what I mean? Like, there's black cops. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, there are a lot of black cops. You know what I mean? There are a lot of black people in other functions. I'm just saying higher level functions. You know what I mean? Like higher level jobs. Um, I I know of very few. And I think that's crazy because of the percentage of the population that is black. You know what I mean? I just think there should be more, you know. And I also think there should be more black people spread out in America, man. Like the blacks are like centered in certain places, you know what I mean? Like Georgia and New York and stuff like that. Like y'all gotta spread around because I'm telling y'all, I've been to some places in New York in America. My bad. I've been to some places in America where I was like, yo, I don't think they've ever seen a black person. You know what I'm saying? And this, I'm sure the places are still there. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. So that's my personal experience, and those are the numbers that I wanted you guys to have. Okay. Um, if you So I would love to interact with you guys. All right. So like leave a comment. Tell me what you think about the video, about these numbers. Compare what, like, listen to what I say, and tell me how you think it's like in your country. How is racism in your country? How's it dealt? What is the percentage of black people in your country, and the percentage of, like I said, very high scale paying jobs and stuff like that, and please, nobody give me any like sports, like a soccer player, oh, he's black, but he's a soccer player, or he's an MC or stuff. No, I'm talking about like, like judges, and for you to have an idea, um, I'm sure there are some black people in the Senate, but here in Brazil we have the Supreme Court, right? Which is like the Supreme Court justices in America. We have a similar deal here. Um, Not one black guy. You know, we used to have one. If I'm not mistaken, if my memory doesn't fail, his name was something Barbosa, but he retired, and after that, and he was a great judge, by the way. Um, but he retired, and now nothing. You know, so it's crazy because of the quantity of people we have here, and the quantity of this misconception of people. You know, people think that, oh, America, black people everywhere, they all got jobs and everybody treats them well, and nah, that's not how it is. I got a whole bunch of black friends that don't live. I got friends that live in Ohio and in Kentucky and in some like Bumble oof places. I'm not gonna curse. You know what I mean? And they will tell you, they're like, yo, they are the only black people there that like there are skinheads and KKKs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful. So I'm not trying to say one country is better than the other. I'm not trying to say any of that. I'm just trying to give you some facts, and I'm trying to give y'all my experience of what happened. You know. So I hope you liked the video. If you do, smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Share this video with your friends. You know what I mean. Comment on the channel. Also, that helps the algorithm pump. Save this video. You know what I mean. So you can show it to other people later on. And yeah, I would love to interact with you guys. I have lives constantly on YouTube and more on TikTok, but I have it on YouTube as well. So we could set up a date and we could talk about this video and you can give me your input and it'll be great. You know what I'm saying? I'll have a live about this video and you guys tell me what you think. But like I said, drop a comment. Tell me what it's like in your country. Is your country similar to America, similar to Brazil? What is it similar to? What is it like in your country? Are there a lot of black people? Is there a lot of racism? Is there a lot of prejudice? Let me know. And I'm gonna catch y'all in the next vid. Peace. Hey, I'm just interrupting here to let you guys know that this video is going to be a topic on my next live. All right. We're going to talk about this video on the next live. So it's important that you watch it and take some notes down. Okay. I'll catch y'all later. See you on the next live. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Peace.